Good thing it's almost not winter, because the winter truck has got a flat tire. So I had left you guys with the impression that I was going to spend the winter working on a Ford, and I did that, but it was the wrong Ford. And that's all I have to say about that. But let's find a better one. I know I've got a better Ford than that somewhere here. Let's see what we can find. Hey, Maverick. Discovered a couple of kind of interesting things, so I thought I would give you a little update. So I was talking in the last video about wood, because that's kind of where I'm at in terms of this body. And this is the passenger side, and I've taken this bottom frame rail out, which I have discovered is not how it was built. So I guess I had a vision in my mind of these wooden frame rails. You've got these, there's these steel brackets that bolt to the frame. And for some reason I had it in my mind that this assembly, you know, this main frame rail, that these side pieces, the body sides with the wood in, would somehow then be attached to this frame rail. And that is not the case. I tried everything I could. So this top piece, it's kind of two pieces. So this top piece screws down onto this bottom piece. And so I tried to get this top piece off, thinking that then I could access the mounting points, you know, where these uprights would attach to this frame rail. But it turns out that it's these pieces are screwed into that frame rail from the outside before the metal goes on. So that actually the wood structure is completely fabricated, and then the metal is attached to the wood skeleton, which, like I said, wasn't the way I had envisioned that it worked, and so the way I envisioned taking it apart also didn't work. But I did manage to get this apart without wrecking it, so that I have a template now for this piece, this frame rail, and then this top cap that kind of forms this L-shaped, this main frame rail, which is literally what I call it. I guess the body frame rail. I mean, there is a frame, right? The chassis has a frame, but the body itself, the metal has absolutely no strength or structure. It's a complete floppy piece, and it's the wood that holds it in shape. And so initially I thought, well, if I could get new frame rails put in, it would maybe work to just reuse, because this wood is kind of here, and really even on the bad side, which is, this is the worst one back here, the driver's side. But I've determined that it's not going to be the case. So then the only decision was, well, do I rebuild it with wood, or do I make a metal substructure for it? You know, anything that's made into a hot rod, usually guys will just make a metal structure to fasten the panels onto. And I decided I'm going to do the wood, just so that I don't... And I mean, there's nothing special about this car in any way. There's millions of these things. But I also just don't feel good about welding something to it and you know, ruining it. Not ruining it, but making it unrestorable, basically, put it that way. So even though I may never totally restore it, I don't want to do anything that has to be then undone by somebody else. So this side, driver's side, this is all that's left of that main frame rail, and it is just a completely gone piece. But I've got my metal bracket. Interestingly, there's no backing plate here. This one can see has a doubler in the back, a metal backing plate that clamps that mount to the wood. Same in the front. There's a backing plate, and this one hasn't got that backing plate. It's just, and I highly doubt that it ever did have. Like, no one would. Well, you can't really take it apart to remove that. So it was assembled without that. So either they were out of them that day, or or Buddy had to go to the bathroom as it rolled by on the assembly line. So anyway, we'll blame the entire failure maybe on that. Eh? I was just going to look here in the front. Yeah, there's no doubler in the front either. And yet this one has a doubler plate front and back where that body mount is, where it mounts to the frame. So that is interesting. That got missed. QC was just on holiday that day. So the only other update, I put my better wheels and tires on. You know, you always have to have a video of putting new rims and tires on your project car. And so anyway, these are the two good ones off the other car I had. And so I've put them on, and now I have 4 black wheels with tires that will kind of work to use, at least initially. So that's cool. Now, a big discovery, well, not big, but the discovery, and I've always meant to just pull these wheels off and look, and I hadn't done that, and sure enough, I had thought this differential was broken because when you push the car around, the drive shaft wouldn't turn, and discover that there's no key in this hub here on this axle. And so with the wheel off, when I turn that axle, I'm turning the engine. The differential is fine. It's just it was just missing the key in that particular wheel, and I don't know if that was on. I'm guessing that was. It wasn't. There was nothing in it, so it wasn't broken. It was simply missing, and so somebody probably pulled it out for that exact reason, so that they could push the thing around easier. And kind of on that same realm, one of the repairs that I was going to do here before I put the body back on is this. You can see the pawl for this lever has just completely worn away to the point now where it doesn't actually even grab anything at all. And so I'm just going to build that back up with weld and shape it and sharpen it up and file up these teeth if I have to. But actually the teeth don't look bad. It's that piece there. So anyway, I got to pull this lever off and fix that. But the connecting thing there being, without this being able to grab, you could, normally you could disengage the drive line with this lever and push the car around, no problem. But because this lever isn't at home, that wasn't the case. The other issue with this lever was with the brake. The park brake rods attached, these are seized in the, I don't know what that's called. It's not a drum, but the backing plate, I guess, kind of deal. Yeah, those shafts are both seized. So when you tried to pull on that lever, these rods were just bending because they couldn't move because this guy's seized in here. So, and the other interesting thing, when I pulled the wheels off, there's no, that whole brake mechanism is gone from inside there. I'll show you on this one here. So inside there, you've got these brake bands. You can't really call them shoes because they're just metal. They're not, it isn't actually a brake. It's just to hold the car. It's a parking brake, kind of, sort of, but it's just metal on metal, so it really doesn't hold a heck of a lot. But this is not in that other car. Like these parts are totally gone. So somebody had the whole thing apart, and which is, the car's old enough that every piece of it has been apart at one time or another. But anyway, yeah, a couple of little interesting things there. So where I'm at right now is, like I said, I want to fix that. Not that, I mean, I just thought it's easy to do now with the body off, so I was going to do that. And then, yeah, it's woodwork time. And I got to get serious with my carpentry, which is not stellar. But I think I have so I have these angles to go by in these notches here. And the bottom piece doesn't have any kind of angle to it at all, other than it kind of tapers down here at the front and whatnot. But there's a bevel on this top rail. There's a bevel on it, and it curves in here at the front. But then each of these uprights comes at a given angle here. And I have just enough, I think, here that I can set that angle. Plus, each of these pieces here is shaped a certain way. Like this one is notched in here, kind of. And so I have this angle, which I don't have on the other side. And that's where I was taking this good side apart, because the bottoms are totally rotted off of all of those. So I don't have much to go by there. The only one I'm missing totally is what's going to be the back one for me. This is the front of the rear door on the touring body, and I don't have either one of those. So, but as I assemble this, the seat kind of sets the width for that, and so I'll have to kind of mock it up as I go. But the seat fastens here. This part of the seat here fastens here. And so the seat bucket is going to set the angle that needs to be at. So it might take a bit of on and off, back and forth, to get that sort of right. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And I'll post updates with things that I learn. I haven't found a great many videos on YouTube about the woodwork on these bodies. There's a guy making one from scratch that has a bunch of videos, and I saw one other video about installing a wood kit, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah, it'll be interesting project for sure. And the mechanical aspect of this car is what will be more fun for me, but kind of that's going to be my reward for for getting the body back together. I'm kind of leaving the engine and whatnot until I have something to put it into. So that is where I'm at with that. So I'm going to do a little fabricating there and get that lever fixed. So here's my progress so far. I've just left this all assembled. It's riveted together, so I didn't want to take it apart, and I don't really have to because I can get at it to get my light in the right spot here. So I'm not done yet, but I have, you can see, I'm starting to get some shape back to it. I'm not completely sure what it's supposed to look like, but I do have a little bit to, oops, there we go, a little bit to go by. So I'm just welding a bit and filing a bit and welding a bit and filing a bit. You can see here I've kind of got the center of it almost where I need it, I think. But now I need to get the corners out so that I have a nice flat edge to it. It's kind of rounded right now. A little bit finicky, but I can run a file. I'm enough of a machinist to operate a file. Oh, I got updates. We've got, with only maybe an investment of 89 minutes or so, I've got one side apart, completely apart. And so I have some pieces now to make, and you can see I've got them all numbered here. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. So we're in good shape that way. Yeah, I've decided to reuse actually some of the stuff that goes along the top, because there's some really funky shape to that, especially that piece there. Whew! I'd be more than an allowable time elapsement trying to come up with that unit. So anyway, I'm gonna get these made out of something. I gotta go next door to the supply, the lumber supply, which is my dad. Because, dads, they've got wood of all manner and sorts and sizes and types. And so I think if I peruse there a little bit, I can find a suitable sort of stock to make this out of. Now, some of this is pretty straightforward. You can see we got just a, little bevel there. That's no big deal. That's like square and straight. That's easy enough. And then we got this one, which is, I think those two sides might start off parallel, and then it gets a little funky. And then as we move back, we could probably call those two sides, well, I don't know if there's a straight side on that one. That's going to be interesting. And this guy is kind of similar-ish. Also made out of two pieces. I get such a kick out of how many of these pieces are laminated together out of more pieces. And then, of course, the big ones here, the frame rail. I keep calling it the frame rail, but the body frame support structure piece, big old timber. In my case, I've cut it here, as you saw me take a hacksaw to the body and chop the back off, because I'm putting a pickup bed on. And I think before I completely fabricate this piece, I'm going to do some measuring and see if I can, I might just make a piece long enough to be also the main structure for my pickup bed. Because it will mount back here on the rear body mount, but then it extends back past the back wheels, however far looks right. And I'm just custom making the whole pickup bed out of wood. And so I might as well incorporate the main frame structure of that into this piece as well. And then again, I might just start it here and tuck it up underneath, and then we'll see. I make this all up as I go. If you guys haven't figured that out by now, then I'll see you in 4 or 5 years when I manage to whittle this unit up here. And actually, no, that's not the one. This one here, this guy, this has, and I'm not even sure that's I think that changes as we go. That particular, oh, no, maybe not. That one might be at least even in its crookedness. There was one of them. This is the guy here. Watch that bevel get sharper as we go. That should be easy. I think that's going to be fantastically simple. And then what's even simpler is that I'll make a reverse one of all of these to go on the other side from this way. That should be pretty fun. So yeah, maybe 5 years. I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic.